channel, KC, that's me, Carrie Chug, the Sledge Storyteller, here to talk about the wonderful world of storytelling and open up discussion about how we can tell the best stories we can. In this case, digging to the roots of storytelling that pull from the imaginations and fears of humankind going back thousands of years. Nowadays, we see all kinds of monsters ranging from ghouls, vampires, zombies, werewolves, and kaiju, to name a few. Lately, it has occurred to me that going back to the roots of ancient mythology and folklore can provide fertile ground for the imagination to inspire new ideas. So I thought, in the spirit of the Halloween season, I'd do some research and give you some timeless monster trope insight. Moving on from vampires, where some can morph into animals, to the trope where animal morphing always gets center stage, WereBeasts. Now, like the vampire, this trope is dominated by those inspired by legends springing up from 18th century Europe. The werebeast trope, or humans who take on beastly characteristics, it's dominated by the werewolf. So we'll start with that, but most predating widespread Western European written folklore, there's again Greek mythology. But in the case of one among several, the legend of Lycaon, it's about a man named Lycaon. He thought he could fool Zeus by serving him dinner with his own son as the main course. Zeus proved the wiser, and this spurred him to curse Lycaon and his sons by changing them into wolves. Ancient Rome's Petronius popularized the connection of werewolves and the full moon. Then all throughout medieval history through the 18th century, European history, folklore, and real-life fervor over werewolfism, somewhat similar to witch hunts, told tales of people who let their base instincts take control and commit mass murder. And also, like witch hunts during that time, it was heavily propagated under hyperactive Christian fervor, where those looked upon as werewolves had been guilty of committing the most egregious sins, and often it sidestepped the full moon method and was spurred by such conscious acts as drinking water from a wolf's footprint, rubbing oneself with a special ointment, wearing a wolfskin belt, eating certain flowers, and related to some more popular lore, sleeping on a Friday night under full moon where the moon shines directly on your face. The list is huge, just Google for the rest. Native American skinwalkers included werewolves, which as humans were shamans, and which was the route Hollywood took in their first two werewolf movies. 1913's The Werewolf is about a Native American female who turns into a werewolf, and 1914's The White Wolf is where the werewolf's form is as a medicine man. But both of these have been presumably destroyed in film vault fires. Subsequent movies in the silent film area, also mostly destroyed, were about hallucinations and dreams of turning into a werewolf. In 1935, Werewolf of London gave us the first anthropomorphic werewolf. Then 1941's The Wolfman started the whole silver weapon trope. Here, Lon Chaney Jr.'s creatures killed by a silver cane. Silver bullets became the go-to in subsequent movies. And since then, Hollywood has rarely veered far from the core tropes first established by those two movies. But now I've touched enough upon just the werewolf, now other werebeasts. And there are way too many to make a complete list without this being a video, just a WereHyena video. But this is a small sampling. Interestingly enough, it's the most widespread were creature in Africa. Some indigenous peoples of the continent believe that there were entire villages populated by werehyenas, while it was also normal to believe that men who became werehyenas were from such tribal vocations as shaman, blacksmith, woodcutter, or healer. Now, as touched upon earlier, reading up on African werebeasts makes me begin thinking more and more that for all the awe that Western civilization has for lions, admittedly shared by me, I think lions are awesome as far as a symbol of power is concerned. It's just for its majestic look, size, formidability, and again, raw muscle power. They're apparently not as favored by Africans, maybe in part because by comparison they don't rate very high when really looked upon in terms of human virtue. Though it doesn't take much Googling to learn about what I'm referring to on that, and I only have so much time to cover that. So something you don't have to watch many lion documentaries about to know what I'm talking about. But reading up where I could, apparently the only were-lion in African folklore, at least known, is, I want to say, is Mbujo. But Turo people of Tanzania believe in him. Witch doctor can morph into a lion and function as a hired assassin. About the only authoritative source on the matter is Wildcats of the World by Mel and Fiona Sundquist. Look into them, their source there. But today's media has had its share of fun where you can embrace your inner lion in such games as Elder Scrolls and Skyrim and in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Now, many know tigers live only in Asia and are widely given the were treatment in various cultures. Among them, in India, the were-tiger is often a ruthless sorcerer who menaces people's livestock and might at any given time turn to man-eating. In China, were-tigers are victims of either a hereditary curse or a vindictive ghost. Dead victims of tigers could become ghosts known as Chang, bent on ensuring that tigers killed more humans. Such ghosts transformed ordinary humans into were-tigers. Were-tiger lore in Thailand portrays them as originally a tiger and become a were-tiger after eating so many humans. Now, jaguars were venerated heavily by many pre-Columbian tribes in the Americas, in part where priests and shamans among the various peoples embraced the traditions of wearing jaguar skins to designate themselves as WEREJAGUAR, while the Olmecs saw the WEREJAGUAR as a fertility deity. Now, given the choice, these are the beastly attributes that I want most to borrow for a day, powerhouse junkie that I am. Since Native American lore has skinwalkers who could morph into whatever they choose, it stands to reason that there are those who at times chose the bear. And much like the WEREJAGUAR, we have the Viking Age berserkers, where berserk is rooted in the word for bear shirt, where such warriors put on bear skins and took psychoactive plants or mushrooms native to the region to get them going berserk on the battlefield, which history says proved effective. So nothing rooted in folklore. So in the spirit of last year's animal morphing video of my Superpower Spotlight series, I'm glad today's pop culture has brought that to light in, yes, modern day video games and role-playing games. But ancient folklore did have the were-crocodile, were-boar, were-shark, were-dolphin, were-hare, and on and on. But like vampires, I think there's a lot of fertile ground again for mainstream media and Hollywood to tap into the WereBeast trope that can be a lot of fun. There are lots of good werewolf movies, but seeing how there are literally hundreds of them, it's time to shift to different ideas. But that's my take on the WereBeasts. Thank you for watching. Agree, disagree, or something I left out, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please click like. If you like this channel, please click subscribe or follow me on Instagram. As always, the link to order sledge number 1 and number 2 is below in the description, where you can order it through Indie Planet. Or sledge number 1 is available through Kindle. In cases of both, they're available in both formats of paper and digital. And sledge number 3 still underway. I got recent updates from Tiago. He keeps me excited to see how this is all unveiled. Makes more of the story than I imagine had been could have been done. But again, let's all look for civility amid all the hate that's out there, social, political strife. And I'll always keep saying it, I think they're too much assuming of enemies or being prepared to see someone as an enemy. Let's try to be friends with everyone. Everyone be safe, and God bless.